What is up, y'all? Snipes-n-Snarfblatts, your unauthorized place for Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm. As usual, I'm your host, Jason, and the House of Mouse has had some pretty big developments this week. It is Oscar weekend. We just came off the Academy Awards this weekend, and out of 17 nominations, we wound up taking home 4. And though that sounds like a very small fraction of the 17, you got to remember that a lot of ours were in the same categories, so there was no way we were going to take home probably even half of the 17, considering most of them we were up against ourselves anyway. So we're going to cover that. We got some Lion King stuff coming out. We got the new costumes for Galaxy's Edge, so let's just roll right into it. Mouse in the Desk Lamp. And what do we do at Mouse in the Desk Lamp? Well, y'all already know that, but if you don't, we talk about all things in the realm of Disney and Pixar entertainment. And as of right now, we've got a couple big things. First thing that everybody's talking about is the new Lion King poster and the new Lion King trailer. So first of all, we're going to talk about this poster right here. This poster is just amazing, especially in comparison to the trailer, because, well, we'll get into that later. Right now, we're going to get into this poster. And this poster, I loved this poster. You look at the poster and you just immediately, for me, I immediately saw Mufasa looking down at Simba and saying, "All the light the land touches is ours." Like, that's exactly where I feel this scene comes from. This is the "all the land the light touches" scene. And it is one beautiful poster. This got me way more excited for The Lion King than the trailer. Alright. And it's not a bad trailer. Not at all. It's just, I felt like everyone was going crazy about this new Lion King trailer. Everyone was sharing it, couldn't wait to see it, blah, 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 yakety smackety. And I pull up the trailer, and it's the same trailer we got for the Super Bowl. I mean, the same exact trailer we got for the Super Bowl. Yeah, they expanded on it a little bit, but I mean, truthfully, we've got the whole opening scene now, because I mean, that's pretty much all it was. It was the opening scene of Lion King all over again. This time they just took out the lion growling at the end. And I mean, I can't say I'm let down, because I loved the trailer in the first place at the Super Bowl, but I am a little let down because I've already seen that trailer. And truthfully, what I really want to see is some damn talking animals. Where are the talking animals? In a movie that is going to be 100% just talking animals, we still haven't seen an animal talk yet. And I don't know why this bothers me so much, but it just does. I mean, out of everyone's gripes for the Jungle Book, I love the Jungle Book. I thought it was one of the most amazing films, digitally mastered I've ever seen. But special effects wise, it was amazing. I believed he was really there, and he was really there with those animals. And truthfully, it was just a kid in a green screen with nothing but probably tennis balls. And the only thing that me and everyone else had a small deal with was, you could tell the animals were a little off when they were talking, because guess what? You can't really train animals to talk. So here we are again. I'm sure we've got it better. I'm sure it looks a whole lot better, because that's just what you do as you progress in these and you make better films. The technology gets better. And lo and behold, we still haven't seen any talking animals. Like I said, this may not bother anyone else, but for some reason it completely bothers me. The next trailer should be nothing but singing and talking and dialogue from animals, or else I'm probably going to go crazy by July 19th waiting for this thing to come out. But, I mean, like I said, small gripe, because I love the trailer. I'm not going to diss the trailer itself at all. Just the fact of, we've already seen this trailer. All you did was show me a couple more animals turning around to bow to Simba, which, I mean, come on, y'all. Give me some talking animals. That's 100% the basis of this film. So that's all I'm really going to get into those, because, like I said, it's the same trailer. There's nothing really to say. So we're going to move right on to the next thing. And the next thing is one of those first Academy Awards we won. This one was won by Pixar. It was an obvious hands-down win. Animated short went to Bayo. I mean, there's not much to say about Bayo winning the animated short, because in truthfulness, I don't think very many of us even heard of any of the other animated shorts that were up for this award. So it was kind of hands down going to go to Bayo anyway. But I don't want to take anything away from this short by saying that, because this short was amazing. It was once again one of those shorts by Pixar that puts you through just the whole realm of feelings. You're happy, you're smiling, you're laughing, and the next thing you know, you're bawling your eyes out. In fact, hell, for a little bit of a point, you were terrified in this because you could not believe what you just saw. But like I said, it's a great short film. If you have not seen Bayo, find a way to check it out. It is a great animated short film, and I don't want to take anything away from this Oscar win by saying that we never heard of anything it was up against, but that's just the reality. Most people probably didn't see. I didn't see one of the things it was up against, and I'm sure I'm not the only person in that category. So it ran away with this award, literally, and I'd suggest anyone to watch this short, though. It is a really, really good short about growing up and letting go and parenting and just all of that. So check out this short. Congratulations on a great win for that one, because you put together one hell of a great animated short right there. But last thing for Mouse and the Desk Lamp, we got a awesome reveal of the narrator for the upcoming Penguins in the form of Ed Helms. And I actually think Ed Helms, he's kind of hit or miss, but on a more hit basis, he's a pretty funny guy. So I have a feeling him narrating this is really, really going to add some color to Penguins, and it's really going to get this good. It's a Disney nature film. He's announced himself as the narrator. You're going to follow Steve the Penguin in a coming-of-age story about a little penguin going through all the perils of life being a penguin. And I don't know about y'all, I love penguins. They're one of my favorite animals on this planet. Who the hell doesn't like a bird that gets dressed up in a tuxedo every day? This is going to be amazing cuteness, and if y'all have never seen one of these Disney nature films, they are a lot more entertaining than your average nature documentary type film. I went to go see Born in China, which was the one about the pandas. I actually even bought a panda, and remember, if you go on the first weekend, so that's April 17th weekend, if you go throughout its opening weekend / opening week when it opens, your money will be going toward, your proceeds of these tickets will be going towards helping penguins, much like when I purchased my panda and I went to go see that movie. The proceeds went to go helping pandas. So it's a win-win situation. You get an entertaining documentary about cute animals, probably the most entertained you'll ever be while watching a documentary about animals, and you also get to save some animals in the process. So like I said, total win-win situation. Y'all go check this out opening weekend. Help some penguins. Laugh at whatever Ed Helms has to say about them. I hope he slips in a Penguins there for Benedict Cumberbatch, and that would just be great because everyone knows Penguins are where it's at. And I love penguins. I hope y'all love penguins just as much. But even if you don't, it sounds crazy to say penguins need our money because that's like some Sally stuff. But at the same time, all these animals need help in conservation because, little by little their habitats are going away, and we just need to find a way to make sure that the animals that had this planet probably before we even did still get to exist here in harmony with us. And what better way than to go see an entertaining film and donate to them in the process. So check that out. Disney nature films are amazing. If you haven't seen any, there's a whole bunch, I think, on Netflix, or there was. If there's not, there somewhere. Check them out. They're really good. I was highly surprised because I'm not the one to get entertained by animal documentaries, but they were really, really good. So that wraps up everything for the Mouse and the Desk Lamp, and we are going to keep it running, and we're going to roll right into the 9 Realms. And the 9 Realms is where we're talking to all the 9 realms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Marvel Studios proper as is. And the first thing we obviously have to mention is Black Panther is now 3-time Oscar winner, brought 3 of the first Oscars home to Marvel at the Academy Awards in very, very deserving categories. They took home Best Costume, Best Production Design, and Best Original Score. And they were highly deserving of these three. I said in my Academy Awards video a couple weeks ago when all the nominees got announced that I knew they weren't going to get the Best Picture. And in fact, the Best Picture went exactly where it should go, in my opinion. But these were highly, they deserved these so much. And these are also some categories where Disney cannibalized itself, because Mary Poppins was also in these categories. But hands down, Black Panther really did deserve this, even though all of these Oscars this year were a tight race. Every category was a tight race, tight to the point where you could not even argue if who you thought was going to win didn't win, because something just as deserving came in and won. So, I mean, hands down, this was one of the best Academy Awards nominees that are Academy Award shows for that I've ever seen. It restored a little bit of faith for me in the Academy Awards watching this year, because like I said, I could not disagree with any of these picks. I really wanted to see Black Panther and Mary Poppins also take Best Original Song, but after I saw A Star Is Born, I knew it wasn't going to happen. That the song, the duo between Cooper, Rocket Raccoon, and Lady Gaga was just amazing. The song was beautiful, and I totally understand that loss. And like I said, Black Panther totally deserved these three awards. There was a lot put into the costumes. There was a lot put into production design. And the score was not only beautiful, it was very complex and enriched and diverse. And I just, once again, go Black Panther. Thank you for putting comic book movies on the map, because we needed this. Academy Awards are now in a position where they have not just recognized a comic book movie with, I think it was 7 nominations, but now we took home 3 of those nominations. I'm actually really disappointed about the FX loss. We did lose a special effects category. We had Avengers up there, we had Christopher Robin up there, and we had Solo up there. Y'all heard me. I was going for the long shot. I really wanted to see Christopher Robin win it. But once again, I cannot disagree with this pick. If y'all have not seen First Man's effects are phenomenal. They are so amazing that half the time you don't even know you're looking at special effects. Like, that's when you know you've got amazing special effects, is when you can watch a movie and it feels like everything you're watching is completely real, to the point where you just don't even question a load of special effects being in the movie, even though they're there. Can't disagree with it all. First Man, great special effects movie. Hell, at times you think you're watching actual documentary footage, and you know you're not. So, once again, like I said, I cannot disagree with anything that was picked in any category. So a major congratulations for the extra 3 we took for Marvel. Way to go, Black Panther, and thank you for putting comic book movies on the map when it comes to Academy Awards. I have a feeling you're going to see a lot more of them next awards season, because I have a feeling they're going to keep getting better. Because so far they've just kept getting better. And that's all I'm going to cover on the awards. Like I said, that's all 4 of ours after you put it with Bayo. So there you go. There's the 4 awards we took home. Congrats. Like I said, most of the other ones we were in the same category. So 4 out of the 17 is good, considering the only other 2 we could have picked up, really, or 3, was the Best Picture nod that I knew Black Panther wasn't going to get, the original song nod that was going to be a really tight race, because there were 3 amazing original songs in that category, and then there's the effects loss that, even though it hurts, First Man, that was some great effects, so I can't argue with it at all. So way to go on the way to go on the Academy Award run, and maybe we'll bring home more next time, but we definitely dominated this when it comes to Disney and Marvel. And hell, look, Solo was even there for Lucasfilm. So we made our presence known at Disney Empire. You did it, and you took home 4. Good job. But that's all the time I'm going to spend on the Academy Awards from here on. So now we're going to roll into a little interesting news that people are kind of running with weird. Collider picked up this thing with Feige, and Feige said that he was going over the things he wants to do in the future of the Marvel Universe. And one thing he was saying is they're not going to announce anything until after Spider-Man Far From Home. So after the 3 years of us knowing basically every movie and when it was going to come out, we are finally in a spot where we will not know what's coming next. And honestly, it doesn't sound like he wants to put out another 3-year lineup like that. It sounds like they want to kind of shoot from the hip. And if I had to guess, this has a lot to do with all the properties they just picked up. And that's why they want to kind of shoot from the hip. Not to mention, when we get through Captain Marvel and introduce all these Skrulls and probably a Secret Invasion storyline, we're going to get more and more into categories where saying what comes next could almost spoil what you're watching, I think. And in the process, though, he did mention this. He mentioned that he would love to get more into the galactic Kirby universe. And if you don't know about Kirby, and that's where comic books get weird. They get into a real, like crazy cosmic area that deals with space. Guardians of the Galaxy was a small sample, and Thor Ragnarok was a small sample of what you could actually get from the Kirbyverse. And he mentioned wanting to do a decade-spanning Eternals film. Now, Eternals, when they said that he wanted it to span decades and this and that, and everyone's saying he announced he wanted to make a decade-long film, I don't think they realized that the actual story of the Eternals does span over decades, because the Eternals and the Deviants were the first things put here by the Celestials. That's how we have genes in us that turn us in from, that adapt and become superheroes or supervillains, and it's really complex. I don't want to get too much into it because I feel like I'll lose everybody just trying to explain it, because Kirby did some amazing things when it comes to the creation of life and everything as we know it in the Marvel Universe, and Eternals is kind of where it started. So Feige's saying he wants to do this and then making a big deal, oh, decades long, and I'm like, well, if he does it, that's how it's going to have to be. That's how the Eternals were. It was a decade-spanning story, but it also encompasses everything you know, and how all these heroes you know even become heroes in the first place. It's really deep story. It really gets you thinking about the beginning of all things, and it's just, I can't wait for them to get into this. They've mentioned this before, that they want to do an Eternals film, and if they do it this way and take the decades approach that it sounds like they're going to take, we're really going to, for the first time, get into comic book territory that's going to blow some moviegoers' minds. And this is going to get us into the sweaty nerddom of comic books that we really haven't dabbled in yet. Because as of right now, we've played in the Ultimate Universe of comics, is what I like to call it. Because the Ultimate Universe was always grounded more in reality for the first like year's run than your average comic books that just over the span of 50 some odd years just were out there. Like, I mean, you got into Galactus and the Silver Surfer and just so many crazy cosmic entities that I can't wait for us to get a taste of this. And Feige saying he wants to do this Decade Eternals just like Kirby did it lets me know that I have a feeling that's the direction we're going to get into as we play more in space and we play more in this cosmic thing that's about to be launched by Captain Marvel. And speaking of Captain Marvel, Fandango pre-sales right now for Captain Marvel tickets are outpacing Aquaman, Deadpool, and Wonder Woman. This movie is going to make some bread. And the only reason I want to mention it, there's two reasons I want to mention this. One is because I've already said it was hard for me to even get Captain Marvel tickets where I'm at. This movie's going to be big, and so far from every single thing I've seen, this movie's going to be pretty awesome. I even saw some action figures that gets a little into spoiler territory, so I'm not going to mention some of the things I saw with Goose the Cat, but I will mention that I finally did pinpoint Jan Rog as the name of the character that, why can't I think of his name right now? Anyway, that guy, the guy who we've been wondering if it's Jan Rog or Captain Marvel, yeah, Jan Rog, that's who he's going to be playing. Jude Law, That's who he's going to be playing. Jude Law will be playing Jan Rog. I still have my own thoughts on him. I think that his Jan Rog is still going to be like a spliced version of Jan Rog and Captain Marvel as we know it, but I'm not 100% sure on that till I see the film, which I will be seeing next week at a first showing, so I can't wait to talk to y'all about that. But before we talk about that, I do have to talk about this Rotten Tomatoes thing with Captain Marvel that, honestly, it was even about to bleed into Episode 9, that everyone's mad because they're saying it's censorship this and whatever, but you know what? Y'all can go to you-know-where because this is BS what y'all are doing to Captain Marvel, and if anyone there is putting up any types of reviews or scores for this movie and it's not even out yet and you're not a critic who has actually seen this movie, there's something wrong with you. And now they're trying to attack Star Wars Episode 9 and it don't even have a damn name or trailer yet. There is something really wrong with you people. And I am glad that Rotten Tomatoes has decided to put a stop to it and close those scores until the actual opening date of the movie, because this has gone too far. You should not be able to rate a movie you have not seen before. It's ignorance at its best, and it honestly is a sign of everything that's wrong with everything right now. You cannot just say a movie's bad just because you don't like the content of it and you've never even seen it. That's just not right at all on any basis. And I am so glad. 2 thumbs up to you, Rotten Tomatoes, for putting a stop to this. Can't wait for Captain Marvel. Like I said, now that I remember his name, Jude Law's Jan Rog. Can't wait to see his character. I think they're going to adapt him into an eventual villain, which I think will be really cool, because it seems like those are the ones that do the best in Marvel, save Killmonger. Killmonger was great, and they've said he's going to be back, so maybe he'll be the same way. But so far, your Lokis, your Thanos that we know we're going to see again, and now this Jan Rog, I really have a feeling is going to be a lot like Baron Mordo with Doctor Strange. You're going to see him evolve into the villain and really take his villain role at the end to build on for something else. At least that's what I'm hoping. We need some strong villains. As I've always said, your hero story is only as strong as your villain story. That's just how it is. That's why Black Panther was so good. You need a villain that you can identify with and understand their motives, even if you don't understand their ways of means to an end. And to me, that's one of your best villains. I mean, that's what you also had with Thanos. But we're going to roll right out of that because that's everything we got for the 9 Realms. So once again, we've got to skip over Eyes on Isley because Celebration must be holding lock and key everything we want to know about Star Wars because everyone's lips has been sealed. So we're going to skip that and we're going to go right into the e-ticket. And the e-ticket is one we haven't seen for a while, but the e-ticket is where we talk about all the big park news. Not a corn dog coming, not a new menu coming, but anything that's big and really just drastically going to change the park. And we've got a couple of those today. The first thing we got is just in time for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World Resort. We've talked about this on the website. They're trying to do a big just rehaul of Epcot, as well as some of the newer things they're adding everywhere else. But Epcot's really going to get some love and a rehaul. And they just announced some concept art with some new stuff. And the first piece of concept art was this. They're going to throw up some major changes to the entrance and right as you get in. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to get rid of all them tombstones with the Leave a Legacy pictures on them. I call them tombstones because that's what they look like. Just big giant tombstones shoved in front of Spaceship Earth. We're taking them out of here. And we're going to put them all up to the front gate. And they said they're going to do a really pretty thing with them at the front gate. So Leave a Legacy's not going away. It's just getting moved from giant blocks that take up way too much space. And in that space, we're going to do some really cool Epcot stuff. And we're going to just add pathways and greenery and just make it real beautiful up there. So you just get a real just
real serene look as you walk in. You can see it in the picture of the concept art, where you can tell they're going to add some greenery and some more pathways, just distinct pathways at that, so you can really just be in awe as you walk into the front of Epcot. And I really like that because they're replacing the fountain with a new fountain. It looks like a new futuristic fountain, and they're going to streamline Spaceship Earth to where you're really just going to take in that fountain and that ball right as you walk in with just nothing in the way. It's just going to be monorail. I have a feeling it's going to be a real, just more futuristic look to all of it. And they also mentioned that at a later date, they're going to say what they're going to do in between after the Mission Space Ball, or the Spaceship Earth Ball, and the World Showcase. So there's going to be some changes there too, which is really cool. I can't wait to see all this. I think it's going to add a real beautiful aesthetic to right as you walk in the park, to give you that awe feel of walking into some beautiful, clean, futuristic area. And that's actually the least of the major changes that they put up, because even more exciting was this one right here. They are finally taking the Wonders of Life Pavilion. You remember the one that had Body Wars in it, and the one that as of late has just been a food and wine hub for the festival once a year? They're taking that pavilion and they are finally doing something with it. And what they're doing sounds amazing. They're going to turn it into a fully interactive city that you kind of see in the concept art. That it's going to be a city of just full interactive. They've got, let's see, you can explore. There's going to be hands-on activities, interactive experiences, Disney characters everywhere, and engaging entertainment. So, I mean, once again, this pattern of immersion just keeps going with all the parks, and it looks like this city's just really going to immerse you in something that, honestly, right when I saw it, I thought of the Ralph Breaks the Internet scene, where they see all the buildings, that's Google and everything, and that's really the vibe I'm getting out of this. And I can't wait to go play with it and hear more about it, and we're going to hear more about it soon, because coming this fall, they said in the Odyssey Events Pavilion, which used to be like the little restaurant area that connects World Showcase to the Future Showcase, or Future World. Well, that little spot off in the cut, they've been using that. They just recently used it for the Festival of the Arts Hub, where they did a couple shows and had some food and some different stuff you could buy. And they're going to take that and they're going to turn it into a interactive exhibit where you can totally visualize all these park projects while they're coming to life. And interactive, I'm guessing you really get to like push some buttons and play with it while you're going, you know what I'm saying? And that sounds like it's going to be just amazing. I'm going to grab a camera, take my cameras up there, and really give it the whole look over. Might put it on the show. Might actually even do a special edition of the show in fall for that. So be on the lookout for that, because I really want y'all to see some of this stuff as it evolves. Because, I mean, like I said, that concept art right there for the city just, it blew me away. When I saw it, I was like, I want to go play. Wow, like the kid... Every now and then the kid in me comes out, and that was one of the things that just really brought the kid in me out. I couldn't wait to go check this out. This interactive city, it reminds me of Innovations from back in the day, where you had the robot arms that you could play with and all the different stuff you could interact with. Hell, the first Segway I ever seen, much less rode, was in Innovations, and you got to ride it around in a circle. And I mean, it was so just state of the art at the time. Now we laugh at Segways because we have hoverboards that don't hover, but whatever. I'm hoping this is just like Innovations, except bigger, and that's how it sounds. Engaging entertainment, interactive stuff, except they're going to have Disney characters too there. Like I said, I'm very excited about this. I can't wait to hear more, so look for more of that towards fall when you start to hear about it. I will make sure the second it opens, like I said, I'll run a camera through there. If I can't, I'll throw it up on Instagram or Facebook or something. I will make sure the people following this see it, and we'll go over it in detail if we have to. And like I said, I can't wait. Very excited. And speaking of very excited, the e-ticket has one more thing, a major announcement. There was a costume reveal for Galaxy's Edge, and Blog Mickey put up all these pictures on their blog with little descriptions of everything that's going on. I've got some of their pictures up here that they had used, and wow, y'all, this looks cool. Like, I'm mostly hit on all these costumes with a slight miss in one area, but I see what they were going for, so it kind of works anyway. But this costume reveal was really cool. First, you've got all the village costumes. There were 3 pictures of village costumes that had different sets of village costumes for the whole thing, so I'll just let them rotate while I'm going over the village costumes. And these will all be interchangeable, and the cast members will have almost complete control, or at least a large amount of freedom compared to usual, on how they're going to accessorize themselves. So they actually get to mix and match all these villager costumes, and which is really cool to me because they also have the option to change throughout the day. And the reason this is so cool to me is because I think with all the diversity you're going to see in all these different village costumes of the people walking around, it goes back to that level of immersion and level of realness. And it's going to give this Batuu outpost in Star Wars Galaxy at Disneyland and Hollywood Studios a level of realness that we've never seen before. I mean, as we go there, I just feel like I'm going to be blown away by not only how rustic and weathered everything looks, but now you've got these people in clothes that literally express their individuality. Because if you see how many that are in those pictures, that's a lot of mix and matching you can do. So, I mean, you're going to have people that literally look like they live in this place every day and go and get dressed in different stuff every day. And that's a level of immersion we've never seen before. Like, even Pandora's costumes, they look like they belong in Pandora, but they're pretty much all the same. So this just totally blew me away because I could not believe they went this in depth with trying to make you feel like you're on planet in a Star Wars galaxy far, far away. And that right there made me fall in love with all of these costumes just because of the mix and match features and how you're really going to get to see a sense of individuality out of everyone. Now, the miss for me, and it's not a huge miss, but it's a little miss, was this hats and vests for the Smugglers Run. You can see they're blue and they got the little stripes. I feel like if they added a little bigger stripes, and like I said, we haven't seen the back yet, so maybe if they add a little more color, they'll look a little more Star Warsy for me, because I mean, even the orange jumpsuits had full white arms, you know what I'm saying? Like, and still had art, and they were blue, orange and white. So I mean, this kind of like threw me off a little bit, but I get what they're going for because it looks like they're going for more of a I work at an airport vibe, and that's kind of what I got when I saw this whole setup. It looks like the Millennium Falcon airport gear. So, I mean, okay, it looks like hangar gear, but I still thought maybe a splash of more color would have just made these pop a little more and not look so airport generic, I guess, and look more like our galaxy far, far away we're used to. But small gripe because I still like them. I just don't love them. And, I mean, like I said, a little more color, I'd love them. But still don't know what the back, if it's got something on the back, it might wind up tying it together and it just be really, really cool in the long run. I saw a close-up of the patch. The patch is okay. I thought it could even be a little more developed. So, like I said, not a full miss, but not a full hit either. I'm just kind of meh when it comes to the Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run outfits. Now, I am not meh on these next ones. These next ones are the Resistance and the First Order outfits from the Rise of the Resistance attraction. And y'all, these are amazing. These are my favorite costumes out of the whole damn thing. Like, I would own these. If they put these up for sale, I will buy these. If I find a cast member that just happens to get his hands on them and wants to sell them later in life on the Facebook Marketplace or on Craigslist, I will buy them from him. I love these outfits. I almost want to get a part-time job here with all the time that I do not have in my spare time, just so I can get my hands on one of these. I love these. These look so awesome. They scream First Order. And I mean, the Resistance ones are the exact things you see from the Rebellion and the Resistance. So, on point with those. All in all, these costumes are amazing. Like, all in all, these costumes are some of the most amazing costumes, detail-wise, and just true to their film inspiration-wise that we have ever seen in a park. And just seeing these costumes has raised my crazy amount of expectations and excitement for Galaxy's Edge to level 1,000 to like level 1,000,000. Because I mean, I I can't wait to get lost in this place. Like I said, the attractions aren't even on my mind right now. I just want to get lost in Batuu and a galaxy far, far away, because it looks so amazing to me, the level of immersion that they're trying to deliver us, and I can't wait. So that is everything for what's going on in the e-ticket, and for that matter, that is every single thing we've got for the show today. So as usual, check out those emails, snipes-n-snarfblatt@gmail.com. Send us some stuff, y'all. Let us know what you think. Give us some questions. Give us some stuff you want to see in the park. Give us some stuff I missed that you want to talk about. Give me some opinions that you want me to bounce off later in one of the shows. I'll put aside some time and I'll talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. So feel free, send in some emails, leave some comments below. I love talking back and forth to y'all. Follow us on the main things I talk back and forth to y'all on. Follow us on Instagram. See some of the cool parks. I just did another food review for Chicken Guy in Disney Springs. Check that out. It's on Instagram. It also goes on Facebook and Twitter. But follow us on all three of those if you really want to keep up to date with what we're doing and you really want to see this pop off on the website as it happens and not have to wait week to week for the show on really big things that you want to see immediately when they pop off. So go down there, subscribe, hit the bell, and then open up that little description and check out all the links. And like I said, check us out. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, and just really be part of our conversation and join in, because I love talking back and forth with y'all. And hell, if it wasn't for y'all, I probably wouldn't even be doing this in the first place. So as usual, I'll be signing off with a quote. That quote, once again, comes from the great Walt Disney. Never get bored or cynical. Yesterday is a thing of the past.